We're live. We're live. Amazing stuff. Amazing. Lovely, 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 lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Margin Call, a stream that will happen every single day, brought to you by Comit Capital and sponsored by Space Market. I'm your host Shakil Samai, and today we have a very special guest. He's very well known and definitely a great trader. He's a full-time trader. And so with that being said, today we have someone very special joining the team at Margin Call. Full-time trader for 5 years, which is fantastic, and he specializes in indices and currencies. And with his reputation and his discipline, he's definitely had the precision in the markets. And with that being said, ladies, trading talk for himself, Marcelino. Welcome, man. Welcome. So I will give it over to Marcelino. He's going to take you through the chart and explain to you guys what's happening, give you live updates, market education, everything, take them through. Let's go.
All right. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. Excited to be here, chop up some charts, look out for potential opportunities that we could take advantage of in the market this week. And yeah, we'll try and find some live trades that we can take if the market gives us the opportunity, right? So when analyzing, or when I start analyzing, the first thing I like to do is go over the dollar, just to have an overall idea of what I can expect in the market, right? So this is just looking at the dollar on its own, DXY, right? Just to get an overall feel of what we could potentially expect in the market, because what we will find is the dollar will give us the direction of a lot of other pairs, right? Such as your indices, your gold. So yeah, it's very important to have a look at the dollar, right? Now, when I analyze, right, I look at my higher time frames to get my overall direction. I'm not going to be opening the 1 minute or 2 minute when I'm having look at the dollar, right? I look at my daily and I look at my 4-hour time frame, and I can go to my 1 hour and stuff like that, but usually I'm just looking at my higher time frame just to have a look at where we are currently in the market. So looking at the dollar, right, on the daily time frame, if you guys can see, we're currently very bullish, right? Price is creating, let me change this color, man. Price is creating higher highs and higher lows, right? So overall the dollar is bullish, right? Structure on the dollar is bullish, meaning we should only be looking out for potential buying opportunities, right? Now this is of course on my daily time frame. Now, are we guaranteed that this is going to continue pushing up? No, we're not. But just based on overall structure and how the market moves, it makes more sense to look out for buying opportunities opposed to selling, right? If we go into our lower time frame, which is our 4-hour time frame, let's have a look here. You guys can see around this area here, we're also very bullish. Let's just go into a lower time frame and have a look here on our 1 hour. Yeah, we can see it a little bit more clear now, get a bit more clarity here. If you guys have a look, we have a nice low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and a higher high. And even if you look at when the price just came back down now, not too long ago, right, like an hour or two ago, you'll find, or you'll see, that that previous low is still holding. Let me just change this colors 1 second. Yeah, right, and we can make this a psychological level of 750, right, because you guys know the market respects our psychological levels, right? So if you just have a look here on the, let's change this as well. Yeah, sharp. Yeah, so structure overall here very bullish as well. Price is creating higher highs and higher lows, so potentially waiting for buys on the dollar, right? So when I'm looking at my pairs that are dollar related, for example, if I'm looking at USDJPY, I should be waiting for buying opportunities, right? Whereas if I'm looking at GBPUSD, right, should be looking to sell, right? So this is giving me an overall indication of what direction I want to be trading in. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at other pairs in the market and look out for any opportunities that I may find, right? So let's just start off with USDJPY. All my analysis when it comes to my currencies, I do on trading view with indices as well. I use FXCM here, and of course I just execute my trades on my Space Markets account. But yeah, I just do all my analysis here on trading view, and I just use my MetaTrader 5 to execute my trades. Okay, so looking at my 4-hour time frame on USDJPY, very similar to what we went over on the dollar. You guys can see we are bullish as well, right? Meaning price is also here creating higher highs and higher lows, right? Now we've just created not too long ago a high that price struggled to break above a few times, right? If you guys have a look at that area there, make it a psychological level of 500. You guys can see that we pushed up, tried pushing up again, we struggled to break above, and we could start to see price retrace, right? It does look like price is retracing, right? So what we can do here is use our Fibonacci tool, right? So one of the 5 confluences I use when I'm trading is our Fib tool, right? And I'll use my Fib for my previous low. So that, oh my goodness, I need to change my settings here, 1 second. Let's go black. 161. .6 0.786, right? This black as well. So I don't use high retracements, meaning I like to use deep retracements, and I'll explain why in a second. Okay, but here we go. So we'll start our Fib from the previous low, we'll drag it up to our high. Why is it doing this? Let's try. There we go. Okay, perfect, right? So the settings are not like mine, but it's fine, we'll make it work. Okay, so there's our low, right? The previous low, there's the new high, and this is the area that I like to call my sweet spot or my sweet zone. So ideally what I want to wait to see is I want to wait to see price pull down into this area, and I want to find a line of support and resistance, right, which is also a psychological level where the market has respected multiple times prior, right? And I want to find a support within that range or that area, and once I see rejection from that point, I will then look to take advantage of the buy, right? So just looking at this area here, you guys can see we do have some sort of support here, right? If you guys have a look here, you can see here this was used as the resistance, right? That same line or same price, which is a psychological level of 500 as well, was also used here as a support, right? You see price pushed up, found a bit of a support, pushed up again. When price came below, you guys can see how price rejected there as well, right? And then if you look at that same area again, you guys can see price pushed up, it struggled to break above that level, pushed down a bit. So we can see there's multiple times that price did respect this level, right? So there's a very high probability, right, that we could see price come down here, and once we see price come down to 152,500, we wait for candlestick confirmation or rejection, right, and then we then can take advantage of the buys pushing up to go and create that new high, right? As long as price is above our previous low, which is here, right, we are only looking for buying opportunities, right? Are we guaranteed it's going to come down to that level? No, we're not, right? Because overall the market is bullish, right? So we could even find support around this area here, right? And if you look at this here, it's also an area of also acted as support and resistance in the past. It's also a psychological level, I think, of 250. Let's have a look. Yeah, you guys can have a look here. We can see, okay, rejection there, right? So we could get some sort of support here before price pushes up. We just have to monitor as the market comes to these levels, right? But the reason why I prefer to wait for deep retracements is because holistically my buys are still valid until it breaks this point, right? So in terms of risk and reward, is this the long position out here? In terms of risk and reward, if I enter here, right, ideally my stop loss needs to be below that previous low, right? So if you look at the risk and reward, it's not amazing. Whereas the deeper the retracement, the better your risk and reward ratio comes to, right? But can we take a buy at this level? If we get rejection, we can, but of course we just need to manage our risk and wait for proper rejection. Then we could probably put your stop loss just below that level. But remember, even if price does take out stops, right, you can still look for an entry at this point here, which is 152,500. Okay, another confluence that we could add is a trend line. Now with trend lines, I don't really trade it, or I don't really rely on it. However, if it is there, I'd add it onto the chart just as an extra confluence. Whether it's there or not, doesn't really affect whether I'm going to take the trade. But if it's adding extra confluence, I might as well just add it, right? So if you just look at that, I like to use my trend lines from wicks to wicks, right? You can see we do have a nice channel here, so this is adding just an extra confluence to the trade, right? So yeah, we can just monitor and wait for price to come to these levels. If we get rejection, we can take buys and of course target our new highs. When it comes to targeting new highs, what's that? Cool. When it comes to targeting new highs, I like to use the -27, right? Let me show you where that is. Yeah, right over here, right? -27. That's where I like to target the new highs, right? That's where most likely my take profit will be. However, once price does pass the previous high, consider taking out some profit, and then stop loss to entry, and then continue riding it to, of course, those new highs. Cool. So USDJPY potential buys loading. Right now, let's have a look at GBPUSD. Right now, with GBPUSD, because the dollar is bullish, ideally we should one second. Okay, we should be looking out for potential sells here, right, on GBPUSD. Right, so even if you just look at this here, because the dollar is bullish, you'll find on GBPUSD, if you look at structure, you guys will notice that structure is bearish, right? Price is creating lower lows and lower highs, right? Nice bearish structure, right? So here, looks like the market has moved. I don't think we're in a retracement phase just yet. This would have been a nice potential entry to enter from, or nice level to enter from. Let's have a look. Also psychological level of 500. Right, nice rejection here. So even if you just have a look at this here, right, it's very similar to the setup that I just went over on UJ. Where's my fib? Oh, here we go. Right, if you have a look, there's your high, there's a low, lower high, lower low. I'm not sure why this fib does this, but anyway, lower high up there, there's your lower low here, right? So if you have a look here, you'll see price did come push up into the hot zone, right? So you see the hot zone, one we just went over on USDJPY. In the sell, it will be exactly the same thing, just in the opposite direction, because of course here we're targeting sells, right? So you see price did come up, you see a rejection on a strong level of resistance, a psychological level of 500. I'm not sure if this has a replay mode. Let's see. Okay, this is not my trading view, but yeah, as you guys can see, one price pushed down, created a lower low, price then pushed up, you got nice rejection there at your resistance, and of course that's a nice selling opportunity, right? Selling opportunity, you could have entered around there, right? Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened. Okay, but yeah, you basically enter around that area there, and of course you're targeting the negative 27 as your take profit, right? You're anticipating the new lower low to be formed, right? Where we are currently, I don't think there's anything that we can wait for now, or anything that looks amazing that we can take advantage of now. We of course just have to wait for the next setup. One price creates the new lower low, we then wait for a retracement, and then we look to take advantage of the next sell, right? Because that's all price is doing. It's just creating lower lows and lower highs. All we are doing is we're waiting for retracement, waiting for rejection underneath resistance, taking a sell. Pulls up again, wait for rejection under resistance, take the sell again. We'll continue doing that until price breaks structure again, right? So once price breaks structure, meaning it breaks a previous lower high, right, then we'll change, and then we'll look out for buys. And when we're looking out for buys, of course what we're going to do is do the exact same thing in the opposite direction, right? All we're going to do here is we're going to wait for a pullback, wait for the market to come to a line of support, take a buy, targeting the new higher high. Same story again, wait for a retracement, come to support, wait for rejection, buy, target the new highs again. So we just continue doing the exact same thing over and over again, and yeah, that's how we basically take advantage of the market. Now, I was looking at indices before the stream started. There was an opportunity that I would have liked to have went over with you guys, but unfortunately it was a bit late. But it was on German 30, right? So I analyzed German 40, but it's exactly the same as German 30 on your Space Markets account. I just do all my analysis here, and I'll go over the move with you guys, and then maybe you guys could take advantage of it tomorrow whenever you guys do see a setup, right? But it's very, very similar to what we went over. Let's have a look at where it is, right? Of course, here with my indices, I do go into lower time frames. I do go into lower time frames just because of the pip count, right? And yeah, there was the move, was it here? Right? Okay, yeah. And with this, my indices, I do like to use the 50% retracement area as well, right? Opposed to my currencies, I try not to use 50%, but with indices I do at times. So all this was this, right? There's a high, there's the low, there we go, right? So structure wise, same story. Price was creating lower lows and lower highs, right? So I should only be looking out for selling opportunities, right? Shouldn't be looking out for any buys when the market is bearish like so, right? Market came down, created a new lower low. I started to see price retrace, right? Now, when price is starting to retrace, you know it's coming to give you a potential entry, right? I then noticed that we do have this area of resistance right here, right? Where in the past, if you guys have a look, it acted as a support. If I just remove this, you guys can see here, this area acted as a support, right? The market pushed up, so when the price came below that area and pulled back to this area, I can see my hot zone is here, which is a 61.8, and I noticed once price had that big push to the upside, it started rejecting, came down, pushed up again, and this is what we can call a double top, right? You see it rejected once and it rejected again, right? I like pin bars as entry candles, right? Shows a rejection, right? When it leaves the wick, it's showing that, listen, the market tried to go up to this point or above that point, but because that level is so strong, it struggled to break above, and therefore you can look out for a potential sell, right? So this would have been a perfect selling opportunity at that pin bar, to sell and basically target, of course, take profit one. As I did mention, you'll target your previous lows, and your profit two will be your new lower lows, right? Simple structure, creating lower lows and lower highs. Just wait for selling opportunities, right? A lot of the times traders, or when people are trading and they see price, for example, sink down or starts falling down, right? The first thing they think of is, can they catch the buy going up, right? And that's what kills a lot of accounts, is when the market is flowing in one direction, and you're trying to catch it either right at the bottom or right at the top in the opposite direction, right? That's a very, very big mistake that I myself lost a lot of money in the markets by trying to do that. It's very important. When the market is flowing in one direction, trade in that direction. Right? You always want to be trading with the current. You don't ever want to be trading against the current. You don't ever want to be trying to go against what the market is doing already. Right? So if price is pushing up, right, wait for buys. Right? Buy only. Only look for buys. So even if there's a very strong resistance here, right, let's just assume this is a resistance here. Right? A lot of the times people will anticipate, okay, cool, I saw the market reject here, the market is here, this is most likely going to be a double top, right? And what happens, you'll find that it will stall, because remember, it is a resistance, but you'll find that the market will continue pushing up, right, and take out your stops. The reason why that happens is because the momentum of the price is moving up, right? If you look at all of these lows, they're higher than the ones prior, right? So yes, it will slow down, however, doesn't mean that it's going to hold, right? So when price is pushing up, wait for buying opportunities, right? So for example, let's just say you have a support here and the market starts to come down. Now, we can see the momentum pushing up and we can see we're above a strong support. It makes more sense to take a buy and target those new highs. Hope that makes sense, right? Yeah, let's have a look at other indices. US30. Lots of bearish momentum on US30 here as well. Let's see if we can take it. This in fact wouldn't have been a bad trade. Shit, we missed it. Previous support turned into resistance, so very, very similar to what we just went over now on German 30, right? Look at structure as well. Price is creating lower lows and lower highs, meaning only selling opportunities, right? Shouldn't be going against what the market is doing. Use our fib. Why is it doing this? Back down again. Yeah, use our fib from the high. Use our fib from the high to the low. Price came up, rejected. Nice selling opportunities. Where we're targeting, first target will be the previous low. Then of course your second target will be negative 27. But if you look at this overall, because it's so bearish, we can just, instead of placing a take profit, we can just continue. I'll have a look at these now. We can just continue moving our stop loss into profit, right, and continue trying to ride this all the way down. Yeah, there's so much of questions here. This question, come on, bro, can you please? What are the values of the Fibonacci? So the values are right here. The 100% is where you start in a downtrend or even an uptrend. That's where you start, and then you got your 0. And these are my hotspots though, the 78.6 and the 61.8. Ideally I'd like to see price come up there, but there is other levels on the fib that I don't like to use all the time, but there's like the 50%. I think there's a 23.7 or something of those. You can use that as well. And then my take profit is my negative 27, and something that I use when my trade is invalid will be my 1.1, right? So should price go against me, right, this is where it will come to, right? The reason why it will be invalid then is because, as I mentioned, because structure is so important. If price is going down, right, that's my last lower high. I don't want to see price do this. If price does this, then this can no longer be regarded as a lower high, right? So it's bullish structure, right? So that will be the only time I would say my price or my trade is invalid and take the loss, right? Hence why my 1.1 or my 110% is above that previous high in this case, and of course vice versa if it's in a downtrend. Read a bit of the chat. We got questions and you got the answers. Yeah. Oh, there's so many messages. What questions do the guys have? Huh? I trade the same strategy. Beautiful stuff. Values of Fibonacci. Yeah, I think I covered the questions about that. Guys, any other questions you guys have, or any other pair you guys want me to go over and analyze for you guys? Any day trading strategy for US30? So you can use this. I do have another strategy that I keep very close to my community. But as I said, with normal price action like what I just went over, trading structure, waiting for rejection on your supports and resistance and stuff, you can make money just off that. Gold. Yo, I hate gold. I'm terrible at gold. If I send a gold signal, don't ever take it. Let's just have a look at gold. Okay, so just going back to the dollar. Dollar is bullish, so ideally you should find that gold should fall. Structure wise, on gold, as you guys saw, we had that big push to the upside, where price was just continue pushing up, creating higher highs and higher lows, right? And let's go this, and then if you have a look here, price pushed down, created a higher low and pushed up an equal high and struggled to break above. And then if you have a look at what price did, it then pushed down and broke bullish structure, right? So because we broke structure and we broke the previous higher low, this now becomes a lower low, right? So at that point we already know we are looking for selling opportunities, right? Because we've broken that bullish structure. Then you'll see what price did. Price retraced, lower high, bang, lower low, right? Price pushed up to this area here. This is a psychological level as well. I think it's 40.25. Let's have a look. Yeah, 40.25 on the head. So have a look at how price reacted here, right? So this was the retracement. Price pushed up, rejected, right? If you have a look at all of the closes of these candles, can you see they all close below that psychological level of 40.25, right? Close below, price came down. Close below, price came down. Every time price pushed up, it was creating structure on the lower time frame, right? However, what's risky about this currently is that yes, the market is rejecting this level of 40.25. However, if you look at these lows, they're also getting higher, meaning that that bearish pressure from this area is not as strong as it once was. Because if you have a look here, the first time it hit, it came to this level. The second time it hit, it came higher. So it is creating these higher lows at this point, right? So something like this can be a bit dangerous, right? So what we could potentially wait for here, if you are looking to take sells, is you could wait for lower time frame structure to break, right? Because all of this on the lower time frame is giving you clean structure, right? So let's just go. Let me just remove all of this. Okay, let's have a look here on the hourly time frame. I think ideally I'd wait for this to break. Because as I said, the momentum is slowing down from these cells coming down from this area, right? So I think once I get a break of this, it will be a new lower low, wait for a retracement, and then I'll take advantage of the cells going down. But as I said, hey, gold and me, we're not the best of friends. Currently under a very strong resistance though of 4,000, right? You could see price starting to push down from this area here, as we are below that resistance now, right? If you have a look here, price rejected, price fell down, price rejected, price fell down, price rejected, price fell down, price rejected. Now a very high probability what it's going to do, it's going to fall down, right? Its target could be, let's see, nice area of 39.50. That could be a target, but also be very cautious of this area here, because price is struggling to break this a few times. Let's have a look here. See that area there? It's a very strong area of support. So yeah, just be careful of that. But yeah, can I check USDCHF? So ideally, USDCHF should be bullish just based on the dollar. So let's have a look what we see here. 100% bullish structure. Right, have a look here. Price. Where is this tool now? Oh, here. Price is creating higher highs, higher lows. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Price did not break that bullish structure, came down to the previous low. Right, so a rejection around 750, which would have been a psychological level. Let's just plot that on the chart. Right, around this area here. Nice engulfing pattern, and there's a very high probability now price is going to push up and create a new high. Cool, guys. Any other questions? No questions? I think we're good for now, nah? Can pass it over to Andy. All right. I'll just jump on the dog.
What's Gucci, what's Gucci, what's Gucci, what's Gucci? Champagne, you know what going on. Sanbonan, guys. Batsini. Where can you see the feedback and stuff here?
I think it's there.
Oh, it's on the phone. How can one take good structure? What Sanbonan? What's good? What's everybody doing? Bro, wait. Why does this have this? Huh? You what? Okay, how can I take good care of entries? Always. Guys, I'm gonna jump on the market. Just give me a second. One thing about streams, now you gotta have fun with it. You feel me? You gotta really have fun with it. It be like that, man. So, guys, you know me, I chop thingy. I need you guys to also engage, you feel me? I don't wanna be doing this whole thing alone and type shit. So, yeah. Guys, we want gold. I'm gonna place a trade. I don't wanna talk a lot. I'm placing a trade. I wanna withdraw in front of you guys. I want to have a payout in front of you guys. Or can you tell Shaq to come change this thing? You guys know me, the chopper way. Shaq, can you change this?
Okay. Yes. Okay.
You're gonna change it on the phone? Huh? What are they saying there? Me, I wanna have a payout today. It's already buying. Also okay. I said don't enter.
Gold.
Alright, guys, so me, I don't wanna, where's gold here? Okay, there's gold there. So the purpose of this of this, hey guys, me and language. Me and language. Yeah, no, I know for fact, man, don't worry about it. So guys, I'm looking for something on gold. Master, can I remove all of this, right? Alright, bet. Reset chart. Fib retracement. So there's actually two opportunities I was looking at here. So let me explain how I'm looking at this trade right now. So we had a double top right here, of which for people in smart money concept, they regard this as a liquidity wipeout, right? So this means that the market is dropping quite well, and I'm probably making noise. Can you close there? Yeah. So this means we have a liquidity wipeout right here. So this means from wiping out the liquidity, we're looking for the market to continue going down a little bit. So now what confirms the moving down a little bit has to be the impulses and corrections that we're experiencing in this whole thing. But yet again, let's look at the current market price that's happening right here. We had a wipeout as well right here, of which is not yet confirmed, because the only way to be confirmed is if this candlestick wicked in, but now we have a body that's above the wick, so we have to be quite cautious with this being a wipeout. It might be a change of character, but I really gotta use price action. As I told you guys, with my strategy, basically I mix a combination of price action and smart money. So I use smart money to understand the concept of movement, and I use price action to determine the next impulse or the next move or something like that. So when we use price action, we can safely say that this is we just recently experienced a break of trend, right? Oh damn, we just experienced a break of a trend. So all of us, we know that after every break we have to have a retest and a continuation. So in this case, I need to zoom it out a little bit. So from this double thingy, okay, let's go on a 30 minutes time frame. I want a clearer picture. So with the clear picture entirely, this overall movement, this was an impulse, so this is a bigger structure of correction. All right, so this means there's a high possibility we might be continuing to go down. So if I was to buy right now, I would say I'm scalping the trade, either or. But let's go in a 4-hour time frame first. These are the confluences I look for before I actually get my trade. So price action, number one, I'm seeing that we have an area right here. One thing about areas, they're always sensitive and they will always be respected no matter what happens. This is the reason why we went here and tapped into the same zone, of which previously it was a strong level and it started dropping. So now we really need to check on an hourly time frame. On an hour time frame, so we are ranging below that structure. So this means looking for selling opportunities, we still need to check what's happening below the levels. So 2 ways here. For me to enter a trade right now, I'm gonna have to use the last price right here. But at the same time, I don't want to neglect the possibility of what I'm seeing from here. Oh my gosh, we don't use the same Fibonacci thingy settings. Can I change it? Okay. Yeah, ours is the same, ne? Yeah.
So here you must start the other way. I don't know why it does that.
I need to change some levels. All right, 1 1 1. Why there's a lot of ones here? Is it this one? Is it that? Oh, here. Yeah. So personally, I'm gonna switch this off. I'm gonna leave this one, and I need 75. Do I need? Let me see. Which one is this one? I don't need one. Okay, probably this one. What's this one? That one. 110. Okay, now I need 71. Wait, no, I still gotta do it some type of way. Probably I need to switch this on and put on 71. All right. This is 61, so this has to be 61, and I was going for sales. Okay, now I'm frustrated. It's really frustrating, guys. Wait, let me check on my phone.
No, the levels are right, no? So see, we usually start from the top going down, no?
Don't you think I've already changed it?
No, so
it's changed already. Let me just go on my trading view, and I change it as well. Cause
the only thing you must do here, is you do it the opposite way. So start here from the bottom, and then look up and you'll see it'll make sense. Can you see?
No, it still frustrates me. Guys, I'm just checking the fib retracement, the fib settings on my phone. Settings. Okay, wait. Settings. There's no 0. There's no this. I don't have this on. I have this on, but this is on 0. I'm just gonna put the way mine is, and then I have skip this, switch this off, and then this one on 0.79, and then I have the one on this one on 1, and then I have probably this one on 71. Let me see. Still doesn't make. Oh, probably it's because we have these color. Need these colors on black. Okay. With the red one, what is it for? Is the entry, and then this one we need it on black too. Yes. Oh my. Oh my. It's 71 and 79, right? All right. Oh, guys, there's my Fibonacci retracement tool. Basically, the settings to it. All right. So, bro, have too much aura. The live is lit. Okay, so this is my Fibonacci retracement, guys, right? So right here we can see we can raise this as a break of structure. So for every break of structure, we know we need to tap back in order to retest for continuations to go to the downside. So now on 30 minutes time frame, I want to see something, because guys, I told you I'm trying to take a trade. I'm trying to take a trade. Okay, I'm gonna try to take a trade. Cause I wanna withdraw today, guys. I want money. I want money. I'm gonna try to take a trade. Okay, so guys, as risky as this trade might be, but I'm willing to take the loss, right? So these are 2 points that I'm seeing. Gold has came back to this level. So in a smaller time frame, we have a triple bottom, right? 1, 2, and 3. For a price action thingy, we already know that this was an impulse. This is a correction. If we look at a smaller time frame, from this point, this just wiped out the liquidity. This means there's a high chance that it might want to oh no, it doesn't mean that's my bro. That's my guys. Fund with space markets there. If you wanna flip an account, there's the link there on the description. Yeah, so we have this liquidity wipeout right here, right? That's the first part. So for every liquidity wipeout, we need a retracement back to complete the what is this? To complete the fair value gaps. Yes, the fair value gaps. Can I turn this, or now I have to turn it like this? From there to here, and then yep. So if I take this trade right now, guys, to be honest, I'm risking, right? Obviously trading is risk taking. Let's be fair. With trading, we are taking risks. So if I take this trade where it is right now as a buy, I'm risking, but yet there's a potential that this might have been a break and a retest. At least we have some confluences right here. But understanding how price money works out, for every impulse there always has to be a correction. And understanding money, there's always gaps that are left around creating price that we need to be respected. So for an example, the market would possibly have to drop until maybe here and then start going up again. And if you look at it according to price action, that would be a inverse head and shoulders, right? That would be an inverse head and shoulders, and then the market starts going up again. So now, do we take the risk to sell without no confirmation? Because as yet right now there's no confirmation, because the market is just continuing to go up, right? Or do we risk it, have minimum risk, and start going up? With what I'm seeing on the 30 minutes, let me look at the 30 minutes actually. Let me look at the 30 minutes. So fair enough, our playground has to be here. That's the highest high, and then this is the lowest low, right? So basically anything within here, from here to go up we buy, from here to go down we sell. But do I want to jinx and risk this one though? Because moreover everything, I feel like these things support the sells. Take the risk and sell it. Guys, I want to withdraw today. Okay. So okay, let me see right here. Let me see right here.
Wait for the 30-minute close, man.
Right. Okay, let's do what, guys? Let's see what happens by 12. Right? We left it 15 minutes. Let's wait for you're right. Let's wait for 30 minutes close. But at the same time, me, I don't love waiting. The more I wait, the more this thing starts, Yeah. Because here's what I'm seeing as well, right? We dropped. We have our first touch, the second and third right here. The last candlestick that pushed up was very impulsive. So probably right now it's coming here to be respected, right? Because moreover everything, I'm looking for sales to start coming as soon as we probably reach this price level right here. Now I'm trading thingy. Okay, wait, guys, I'm gonna remove these things. I don't like messy charts. So probably I'm gonna have to. Why is it fixed? It's so fixed. Yep. So for me, the sells make sense if they come from this level right here, because for people that use blocks, this for them will be an order block, whereas for prize money people, this would be a fair value gap, right? And if you look at this will be a break of structure. If you look at this right here, this will be a break of structure, right? So this being a break of structure, it makes sense more, because remember I said after every break of structure we need a retest to fair value gaps before we continue. So possibly, since also gold, we are on a bearish market. You saw it move from here. Now we have a larger vision of a correction, so you might as well wait for the market to shoot up first before it actually starts giving. Nah, guys, I'm buying gold, no lie. I'm buying gold. Okay, I'm taking the trade, guys. So no risk, no thingy. Yeah, no risk, no. I'm using my 1 million. No risk, no Lamborghini, guys. As you can see, this is my Comit Capital 1 million rand funding. And I'm actually taking the trade with you guys live, right? I'm risking it. Listen to what I'm saying. I am looking for overall sales, but yet again, I'm open to the idea of what this might do right here. Like, for an example, we already had this and that right here, right? So this has a possibility of retracing before it goes up, because for me, sales only make sense once the market gets here. Does it make sense? I'm not saying I'm gonna be right. At the end of the day, no risk, no rari. No risk, no rari. Okay, guys, I'm taking the risk. Okay, what lot size do I use? Let me use a standard lot 1, because I'm not really certain with the trade, but maybe let's use lot size 1.50. Yeah, lot size 1.50. I just bought. Look at that. I just bought right now. Here is it. It's running. You can see. So now let's go put our stop loss and thingy. So if I took the buy right, here, right? As far as there's no much of confirmations, so this is a wipeout right here, so it might push until this certain extent. So how much am I willing to lose? This to here, let me see. I'll tell you guys once I'm trying to see how much am I willing to lose. I'm risking 25,000 to make let me see, to make 52. Yep, to make 50k basically. I'm risking 25 to make 52. I might hit stop loss. It's an impulsive trade, but I'm willing to take the risk. So 26k. So the stop loss is where? Wait, I think it's somewhere right about here. What time frame is this? This is 5 minutes time frame. That's 30 right there. If I put it right there, that's 30. I want 25. So it looks like my stop loss is somewhere right about here. Somewhere right about here. So did I enter the trade right here? So the trade is right here. The risk to reward needs to make sense as well, guys. The risk to reward needs to make sense. I don't wanna. So there's a high chance, if this trade was to drop, it probably would wanna wipe out these lows right here, right? So I need to make sure that at least I'm below these lows. But the gap is probably here as well. So I'm probably gonna have my stop loss somewhere right about here on 3985.09. 3985. No. Let's actually put it at 3984050. 3984050. And then take profit on 4013.320. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I'm already on the trade and I'm on a loss currently. What? You coming on a live and taking impulsive trades, and people are going to follow you for signals. One thing you should know, my brother, is when it comes to trading, if it feels right to do it, do it. So right now it feels right for me to buy, because even if I take a loss, I would take a partial loss, but my turn breaks are going to be quite proper. So that's one thing I like about trading. You cannot, as far as we have a probability mindset, you always need to take a trade to see the result. That is why lately, guys, if you realize, we have a lot of chat analysts. Everyone is a trader, but if you ask a person for results, nobody shows you that. If you come to me and want results, I'll show you. Because for an example, I'm not sure if this will show. These are my withdrawals, guys. This is my 1 million rand account. This is my withdrawal. Is it showing? This is the withdrawal. So I'm trying to get to another withdrawal, and as you can see, already the trade is in blue right now. So it's ranging between blue. It's on break even now. So as soon as we hit 50k, bro, I'm withdrawing. You gonna keep being there and yapping. I don't like people that talk. So guys, we gotta wait. How are you feeling, King?
Good.
What are we trading on your side?
GA potential buy.
On GA? GBP odd OED?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm scared of that, bro.
Huh?
I'm scared of GA.
Yeah.
I only do EU.
I say it's different. And he's calculated risk trader.
Yeah, bro, I'm a calculated risk. That's why I'm saying to you guys, I am risking my daily drawdown on with my 1 million rand account. It's 50,000 rand per day, right? I'm only risking 2.5 to make a potential of 5%, basically.
And they're asking, like, have you ever bought instant fund account with?
No, I've never bought an instant funded account, but I would recommend it for some other people. Personally, I feel like there's a certain thing that I love about when I buy a challenge. It kind of gives me that, that challenge to say it kind of like prepares me. Whereas I feel like if I buy an instant funded account immediately, you are kind of like setting yourself up for expectations. But if you have to pass a challenge first, at least you notice that, oh, I actually had to go through this, through that, but now for the efforts I've put, I need to be actually cautious with the risk. That's what personally for me instant funded accounts do. So we are just going to be patient for now, guys, and see how the trade turns out. We just have to be patient, see how the trade turns out. Turns out good for us. Turns out bad, next to the next trade. So yeah, what are your questions, guys, so that I can answer your questions? What are your questions? Yeah, what are your questions? Have you ever bought an instant funded account?
They're saying like why lower lot sizes.
Why?
Lower lot size.
Why lower lot size?
Yeah, lower lot sizes.
Okay. The main reason we lower the lot size, guys, is because we avoid risking way too much. You get me? This trade, as I said, remember there's what we call an A plus and a B plus and a C plus setup, right? An A plus is that one that has all the confluences happening. In this instance, we used price action together with smart money. Smart money says we are already on a buying momentum. Price action says we just broke a structure and we retested it. So we need to see what's going to happen as soon as the market starts going up, right? Or as soon as the market starts selling. If it does sell, bet we learn a lesson. Okay, cool. That means it wasn't ready. The MacBook is flat. Yeah, so we learn something. Okay, if it does this, we always have to wait for this, and then off to the next trade. One thing about trading, guys, is you always have to move to the next trade. So yeah, lowering the risk is important, especially when it comes to A plus, B plus. This one I can precisely say it was a C plus. It's not an A. It's not that setup. I'm gonna say this one is the top one. It's not my toppest setup, but it's a setup that I'm willing to take a risk on. You get my point? So yeah, it's a setup that I'm willing to take a risk on. Let me try see if I can find a setup that I can say it's my A plus. A setup that I said might be my A plus. Let me see with the February here. Let me see right here. Masa, you did this on GU, ne? Yeah, that's, you see, same thing. What Marcelino is expecting here is the same thing I'm expecting. So he expecting the trickling momentum towards the downside, and then somewhere around these levels, he expecting a turn back and the market changes direction. That's the same thing I'm seeing. Huh? That's the same thing I'm seeing. On what time frame do you enter? I enter between 5 minutes and 15. I analyze on 4, 1 on I look at this bigger structure on a daily. And then on 4 hour, I look for direction. On 1 hour, I look for the sweet spot. I look for the sweet spot, and on a 15 minutes or 5 minutes, I execute the trades. So that's what I do. So far, we are on a drawdown. We are on a drawdown so far. Let's wait and see what the market does. Let's wait and see what the market does. Yeah, you can be asking questions. They definitely. I wish, you know what I wish for? I wish we could be. All right. So we have approximately 6 minutes left on the stream, guys. Nah, we probably gonna stream again in about an hour, or in New York session.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, in New York, we'll give you feedback of how the trade went, and then yeah, that's it for me, man. My king. Let's touch them later.
One more thing before.
Yeah.
Just to answer, weak rejection on the current candle, on comfortable buys.
What?
They're saying if there's a weak rejection on the current candle, we'll be comfortable to buy.
Where the gold? Okay, let's see. Okay, guys, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something. For me, with gold, the perfect buy is gonna come from here. Wait, let me go take it on a 50-minute time frame. With gold, personally for me, right? Remember, I said this is a C plus setup. It's a setup I'm willing to take a risk on, right? But if it was an A plus setup, I was gonna be looking to buy at this area. If I take my fib from here, flip it to the here, so the market would possibly have to drop here, take out take the fair value gaps here, create price, and then move up again, right? But at the same time, we are already impulsing to the upside, so it might not be so wrong for the market to complete this setup, right? So my perfect entry would come from here. So if it closes somewhere at about these levels, bet, but then we would have taken an L, and then as soon as we get here, we buy again. As I said, overall, what I'm still looking at is this might have created an inverse head and shoulders overall. So yeah, we are in a fucking, oh my gosh, we are in a drawdown. But yeah, guys, we'll give you feedback. This tanking right now, it's fetching my stop loss. I'll give you guys feedback as soon as the market opens again on New York session. Champagne. But as I said, wait, as I said, it might want to come get these levels here. It might want to take these lows right here, or it might want to come get this one here. As we miss this one, we are taking the another one. Could you brief risk? Will the live be uploaded? Which one? Yes, it will be. It will be. So I'll give you guys feedback. Let's go. Are we done?